Okay. I want to get started. I've got a bunch of tabs open. Almost all of them. I just was like, this one, this one, this one, this one. So I'm gonna just go through a bunch of shaligrams. Hope the music is not too loud. The mole. I was thinking of trying to find no copyright Christmas music, but whatever. I ain't got time for that. It's a spontaneous recording because I was like, well, I got all these tabs. Maybe I can clear some out. Check them out. Save the best for recording. I'm like, this Shaligram's already awesome, and I should probably just record. So this side, we see the chakra of an imprint of an ammonite structure. So we see the chakra up here, or we see the tiers of the chakra down. Okay. That typical, if you will. Typical fossil, if you will. Nothing too out of the ordinary where it's like, what the fuck? Then as he turns, we see this tier of the chakra continues around here, and there's an imprint or a path of that tier there. And then over here at this tier, we see the tier go over, but then it does some weird things. Weird things happen with the chakra down in this area. That's weird. That's a bit odd. We haven't really seen what the weird things are. Good evening. Happy Merry Christmas Eve. I guess like exactly now here. It's about to be. We got 1 minute. Walking around the Christmas tree. I'm well, hope you're well. I don't know if I said that. I'm freaking also other things. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. Almost. Like, whoa. This is it. Oh my god. It clearly has tiers of the chakra from up here down. And then this is a tier. This is maybe a tier there. That's like this one. And then down here is maybe like generally there. But then, like, that suddenly is like a chakra with a lobe and a lobe. That's good. That's good. Glad to hear it. Like, what the fuck? Proof positive. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't fit the pattern. It only makes sense if there's an eddy current at the top that kind of like broke off here and re-established a different eddy over here with new chakras. but like using the actual structure of the original eddy as like a flow path. Like, dear God, these shaligrams that I opened in this window are really quite impressive. I might try to move this over here. Now I'm looking this way. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. But like, eddy downward. If I, what the? Hey there, dang it. Come on, thing. Come on. Oh shit, what is it doing? Touch off. Oh, there we go. There we go. I found it. Eddy. Chakra region down. Eroding in here to like remove this chunk basically. But it seems like it maybe went this way overall and then flowed out like into this area to then like turn and go this way generally and like start a new eddy. Maybe just a possibility for how the energy may have flowed to manage to do this incredible feat that I don't know if I've seen something so conclusively. I guess I have seen many instances. It's just this one's more like macroscopically clear, I guess. And then it goes down to another one down here. And this one is incredible too. And then we can see this, which would have chakras in this area. Like this would be the nucleus, I guess. That would then be eroded into. So that's probably why there tend to be nuclei. Like the current gets in these areas specifically along these that boundary. It cuts in and then it pushes out boundaries in both directions. And that can lead to like flowing out probably more so into actually the next lobe kind of things when it's going out, and then when it's going in it like leads to the ammonite internally forming a nucleus that then like can shrink inward from like this area so that only like an internal nucleus in like this area sometimes is visible. And then there's like a void between it and the outside. Very cool. But then this actually, even though it's kind of similar to this, where it has like a central nucleus and then a lobe and another lobe, which would then make this like the nucleus, and therefore this kind of like the nucleus, it has the lobe and another lobe. Even though it has that appearance, it actually seems to have instead been like a piece of an ammonite with like a chakra here, where the eddy was centered around there, and it went in and around, back and around, and then back, and cycled here, and has like a little tab over the chakra kind of thing. At that point, I was like, alright, I'll just stream. Whoa. Like, whoa. Wow. And then over here, it has a lobe. Like, clearly a lobe shape. So it goes... It's like running into... Oh my god. Lobe shape. Okay, I guess it's fine. It's just that this goes out and around and continues there, I guess, energetically, whereas eroded there. This strongly points to like a current flow going in there and maybe spawning the other things. Maybe that's why that's there. Multiple catch points. Definitely see like a chakra kind of thing forming, but elongated backward into one of those. Oh, the little face. Whoa. Really can see the lobe out that way there. And then the tiered ammonites, that is just standard operating procedure of shaligrams like this. It's almost like a lobe out this way too, with like a nucleus there. Okay. This video is one of many. All by this channel, Siraj Das. Okay. I guess I should mute in case there's music. More common type of shaligram, I guess. There's that nucleus being eroded into, where it eroded the full stretch of like a unit specifically. Okay, let's see. Is there more? Wow, that nucleus. Okay. Okay. There's so many. Oh, thank God, ads, finally. Well, it's like looking in the eyes of the Shaligram sometimes. Whoa. Someone gardening or something. Okay, that's all this one. I just started opening a bunch. I don't know what. Whoa. I feel like there was that looks like a chakra. Wow. Okay, that's all that one. There's some really, really cool ones I know for certain. Looks like that's written on it. I thought it was maybe. Oh, the McRib, good. Oh, here we go. This one's looking curious. Okay. A little more comprehensible than the image was. Now I see it like a chakra nucleus here. So we're seeing really clearly that shape, and then the lobe out from it, and the lobe out from it. To know that that shape indicates a chakra for the other one, that was clearly not in the right position if it was part of the initial structure, but it was like pretty clearly part of that initial structure. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm streaming. I can just like go grab a drink or something. This has the belt around the equator kind of thing, but like pole to pole, I guess, in this case, where it went like around the stone, probably a current that went like around this path, pinching it pretty much. Very interesting that the chakras are where this is. Like, whoa. Wow. What a shape. Holy shit. Dear Lord, what a shape. I remember I gotta screenshot this stuff. Oh my god, it's got the freaking... Oh my god. It's like it's the negative imprint of a huge ammonite structure. Like a piece of it that was just like a tube of the negative imprint. Like the ripples of the teeth, kind of basically it's a tooth of like one of these little structures here, but bigger, of a larger ammonite, where like this stone is equivalent to like a small chunk of it like that then had an ammonite form, like a opening like this, that then had an eddy form, but it still retains the overall structure of the ribs to a degree, maybe. Seems plausible for the other side. This side more normal, having a node, but that's more normal. This side over here is very abnormal. Oh my god. Wow. Clearly channeled. Oh my god. Kind of see little tooth paths there and there, like it was making a chakra, and around it was an eddy swirling that was starting to actually cut into the stone and create like the ribs, but only subtly. I need like a freaking Santa hat if I'm gonna stream on Christmas Eve. What am I doing? So unprepared. All I have to bring is my witty banter as we look at these incredible stones. Oh, that chakra is kind of looking at that angle. Like right as he turns it, it's almost looking right there, this curve, like a mass. Like it could be the end, like something like this, around like some portion like that. That's like kind of shaped like here's the end of it, and then it wraps around a bit, but it goes down and in. Like a mass. It's kind of giving me that vibe. What make me think like there's something to its chakra being like this final chamber. That then of some like ammonite segment of eddies that was happening. I don't know. And then it was indented here by some other current, probably related to this eddy in there. Okay. but ultimately then like sticking out and leading to an eddy around it. Wow. Incredible. Like, what? This path. This path. This path. I don't know if that one kind of fades out. This one even somewhat shows itself over here. This one maybe over here a bit. Subtly. But then it has down from the chakra like a sort of boundary here that then has like the tooth kind of thing going on. And then goes out like a wing, making me think of the Deccan traps and India in general, I guess. Where that wing even has these things here. Making like layering to it all. But again, off of something that has some like threading beyond just being like a chakra. It's not like the rock just had a protrusion that the protrusion then led to eddies around it. Like the protrusion, in order for it to form, it had to form by actually pushing out boundaries into other pressures, and in so doing it did it in more of an ammonite like way, where it was like the final chamber of this like body that stretches like off of or out of this other one, like even coming off of its side, maybe like it literally is being seeded out of this ammonites. Like this lobe off of it. So as to push out boundaries over here and create a chakra, it seems. That would be my interpretation. It seems like the general process was leading to some maybe like both things at once, where it's like chicken and egg kind of thing, where which came first. They both like interact so that the ammonite extensional piece comes out and leads to a chakra, and then an eddy exists leading to a chakra, where like the eddy was already kind of there and energetically like almost like welled up the chakra by its presence, but also like its presence was being fueled by this system over here having some of its current like essentially leave its eddy. Like it's in this plane. And then the lobes generally grow bigger, like, but in the same plane, like that, but like more squared off, or more rounded, or whatever. But sometimes they can say, well, this path is not optimal, and just go like some other way, like that, and that could lead to something more like we see. Let's see if we maybe can see the main ammonite again from an angle. I can just go back. Whew. Incredible. Okay, there. It's that side. Oh man, I feel like there's ribs there. Just like there's ribs here. There's ribs here. Because the current don't give a shit. It's like mirrored on both sides. Although maybe the like differentiation of the material within here is a function of the mirroring on both sides. Now that I see it like that, because it may be that it's just different materials ultimately making it appear kind of mirrored. This is all solid. Like it doesn't even like it's not segmented. We can kind of see teeth here in this boundary, but it's really this chunk is one with over here. So it's almost like this lobe wasn't really able to form, but this eddy was happening either way. So in order, maybe because of this freaking circumstance here, that there's like a literal larger ammonites eddy pressuring this system. So as much as this eddy would like to stay in this plane, kind of see palm trees around there. But then down here, imagine there's an eddy, like this eddy, that then has outlet paths carved, where the eddy basically, our current is eddying into a center, and then exiting around the eddy, 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 and basically pressures. Let's do it both ways. Around the eddy, around the eddy, around the eddy, I don't know. Around the eddy, around the eddy, around the eddy, around the eddy. And then pressures. Hold it in so that when it goes around the eddy, at some point it kind of contains the eddy. So like when one of these literally wraps around and the whole side is visible within the stone, then it is contained by the pressure. Sometimes it punctures through, like here, where it flows out and then it's into some surrounding pressures. This looks interesting because it kind of reminds me of the stone having like part of one of these ribs, but also like stuff going on here. I don't know, it's kind of interesting looking. Just circular weird things that are hard to tell what's going on, but okay, this one's incredible. I have probably beaten it enough. Next. Ooh. Whoa. It's like tiered. And it's like it's not sure which type it wants to be. One where the eddy propagates in a linear way, or where it eddies in an eddy. Like it propagates in an eddy, but then it also propagates in an eddy, or it propagates more linearly while it flows in an eddy. Sometimes both are happening, or it's like switching between one and the other. So like this looks kind of like it was flowing in, but then it's got weird things that are making it look like it's turning more into truly an ammonite, like a nucleus area. That also looks like maybe like lobes out to the left and right here, specifically using like this being like the opening, like where the chakras would be, and then a base down there and up there that are kind of cutting the sides in half so that there's a lobe this way, where they all each have like a shape that has little segments to it. That's kind of how the lobes form. Makes me think that maybe that could be happening with that. I don't know. Okay, this one is cool, but let's go. I like the way the chakra just boom straight up over, boom straight up over, boom straight up over, while like kind of relating maybe to this. Like this is the very top, boom, that's where that is. This, I don't know, maybe it's like also this one's top, where it like would have gone back down. I don't know. Similar to how like this could go up, so it's not really like the top anymore. interesting shape, though. Whoa. Cool, cool, cool. Very cool shapes. It's kind of like... looks like some kind of like gaming system controller. I don't know, like Nintendo 64 or something. Just not with like the quite sharp handles, not from this angle. I should probably stop at 1 a.m. 23 minutes. Wow, does look pretty. Okay. Very curious. Ooh. Wow. Wow. It's almost like it was like trying to form an ammonite off of this point by going in both directions. So some of the current went left, some went right. And when it went left, it like formed the ammonite that it was trying to form. But when it went right, it like slipped off around the structure of the stone in a way, so as to form a new eddy instead of actually eroding into the stone like it needed to get into the stone like here. Instead it got in on the side of the stone, and maybe it didn't like lead to an eddy in the same plane anymore, so it like went that way and made a new chakra. But like has some threaded connection across right there to there, and then it goes down that way. Oh my. Wow. It's almost like chakra this way, lobe out this way. Oh my god. It's totally the shape of a lobe with like a nucleus region. Oh my. Okay, okay. Okay, whoa. 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 Wow. This ammonite runs into the other ammonite. Oh my god. Wow. What was that part of it? Wait a minute. This is the one ammonite. But then it's got like another chunk on it. Where it's like a lobe. Oh my god. Just currents. It's the only way, best way to describe it is currents doing current things. Swirling and changing direction. Going like eddy, 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 and then the tail of it going like off in another direction. Eddy, 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 and then the tail of it going off in another direction. Eddy, 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 and then the tail of it going off in another direction. Eddy, 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 etc. Filling it like freaking crazy things going on with these currents that are leading to these overlapping kind of like contortionist connections and threadings between these ammonites in cool and peculiar ways that are revealing and important. Scientifically of importance. Not just for the sake of it. Wow. This one's odd. It seems like there's a lot going on. A lot of subtle details that are hard to like quite place. Like it could, like it kind of looks like right here, like an ammonite. This chakra center, like we can see suture patterns, so maybe it is from that angle. But at the same time, like there's an ammonite there. So like, and if that's an ammonite up there with suture patterns, it sure does wrap around it pretty well. I guess it could be part of that one. Does it fit? Could like that be the same ammonite? I guess so. Okay. Although from the other angle it looked interesting. Like, curiously, like it was like off of here and then maybe it started more off of here and rotated in that into the stone more. Like the first one we looked at, how it kind of started on the top and then rotated as it went down into the stone along its side face. Still very odd. Whatever's happened here was irregular, to say the least. Okay. Wow. That's recessed back very far. I feel like for its size, it's abnormally recessed. Which makes me think, is it possible that chakra is like an opening, like a drill-in point that has like a down, like starts like a shape like this? Having a tab like that, but then elongated back and in, where it's like a long structure that then has like a tab protruding. Yeah, whatever. You got the point. But then where it then eroded like all this, except for some segment back here that it turned into a chakra, but abnormally internal. Or maybe just didn't even erode that one that far back. Just based on this little lump there, I'm thinking slight possibility, I don't know. I mean, it certainly generally starts from a current entering the stone in that same general way. I'm just saying maybe the actual remnants of the structures there, I don't know. And the subtleties of this, the boundaries. That's about the only thing of major interest besides just the abnormal angles of those things. Did I see in that one? Okay. Chakras that way. Definitely some curious things going on. Maybe I should even speed up. I usually slow down Shaligram videos, but I got so many open. So there we see the lobe, the nucleus region just being full-blown eroded out. So I guess sometimes when it erodes the boundary like this, like how it's doing this, and then having like the lobes, sometimes when it erodes in, it more so just erodes in, and so it leaves like a void. But where the outer like mass portion is still relatively just solid, but with like its boundary defined, internally boundary defined too, even. And then repeats down here with another eddy that was below it. So there's a chakra, there was a chakra, there's a chakra. There. really trying to see how these ammonites relate to one another to see if it makes any sense. Like if there's something really abnormal about it, because I feel like there might be. Like there's a chakra there. Chakra there, chakra there, chakra there. Inner structure there that has a chakra right there. I don't know. Let's keep going. I think I've seen this one before. Whoa. Maybe not. Oh. I guess it. Whoa. Turning my head the other way makes me see like this. Interesting. What's up with that? Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. It's so cool. It's so cool. Wow, there's some chamber smearing going on there. Dendrite or suture patterns being started to be formed. Okay. Very cool. I like that one. Oh, this one looks promising. Okay, more normal than I thought, but still really cool. Little X over the top chakra. Almost like the downflow through the chakra was so strong that it like cut / pierced this region in these paths. I don't know if that makes sense, but okay, pretty. Definitely has its unique characteristics, but looking for real super cool ones that I opened. It looks almost like a chakra forming on the right that then like shifted. Like it was eroding there and shifted over while I was making like a lobe over here. And really that lobe that is where the current ended up going, basically entirely. Not so much over here where it's initially eroding, maybe. Went in here, and once it got in there, it just created the chakra center, and it eddied around there where this didn't really matter. So it just kind of remained without being substantially eroded further. Maybe. Makes sense to me. Crazy. Lots of little like gouges looking things for the path in. Whoa. Just boom sideways. Can kind of see like a flow this way. Maybe this way, even like around the center, maybe here. That was subtly happening, maybe. Also up here, maybe. This. Kind of looks like a lobe shape out this way. So if that's a lobe, maybe it was like connecting this way too. Going like up and creating the next lobe, but where it went off the edge. And then when connected back to the other side, but then in a way where it created boundaries for another eddy to form, and it formed an eddy there. But like off of this eddy. And retained along some boundary of the stone's pressures, like capacity to push out the boundaries. And also maybe even like seeded out of the stone in a way where it's like material is maybe a little different in appearance. Like it grew kind of thing in the stone, where the rest of the stone it was more the particles flowing and everything, but not like growing per se, just being shaped in flow, etched, eroded as well, also held in position, but oh damn, okay, it's one. Whoa. Crazy. Wow. I should sleep. What am I doing? What I found to do. Very cool. I'm just freaking skipping through now. Whoa. Hold the phone. Whoa. Those ribs right there. And then there, like, what the? Right there. Clearly the ribs. Even see it over here. Unrelated to those ribs. Noobs get schooled when I speak. Tell them y'all, I just broke the game. New Lion King movie coming out. Whoa. Wow, those little rounded. And then boom, another ammonite over there. Divided. With like a very common like segment aspect of its shape. As if like a bulk current went this way. And then an eddy was like off of it here. Whoa. So cool. It's got a little smiley face. Just so perfectly there. We even see chakras. We even see chakras, dudes. It's just happenstance. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Don't worry about it. It's nothing that even connects really. But then over here too. Another chakra there, but basically chakras here. And down that way too. And then having a lobe that's in this plane, like along this plane for the eddy, and then a second lobe on the other side of the chakra that has an eddy, or its portion in this plane. how Hebrew writes God when they write it in English. I don't know if that would be of any relevance, but I was curious. That's definitely a thing we've seen all the time, though. That, where there's an ammonite in one, an eddy in one plane, and then generally a chakra region, and then an eddy in another plane. Of like a elongated lobe and a very much not elongated. To have it kind of like that. Very common. Well, big ol' booty. Booty. Okay, pretty. I imagine there's cool stuff on there. I don't really feel like looking for it.
Please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon.
Ooh. Like just even the way that is inside there. It's got like 3 tiered things to it. That doesn't make sense. Kinda got a lobe there. And another lobe. Generally there. Maybe. Like something of that nature at play. It's like going over there too, so it's definitely not clear. This one's mostly that feature, looks like. Whoa. Really strongly eroded in the positions it's eroded. Like, this is incredible. It even has an arc and like a roundedness there. Wow. And like a chakra there. Oh my god. Like it was pressing too much into the surface that it actually started to erode down and in this area so as to make a ammonite like into it with the chakras that way rather than this ammonite, which was more like a large eddy on the surface, but without like a pixelated, almost like pressure point. That once the current eroded out around this, it kept going, and that's why it was like this, because it was so energetically going into the center and eroding that it actually branched off in weird anomalous ways, I guess. Some signs of chamber erosion, maybe. Chamber segmenting, maybe. Okay, let's go to the next one. Whoa. Wow. Wow. It's doing that shape again, or it's... I had to think about it for a second. It looks like right here is kind of like a chakra. Another chakra. And then a lobe. Kind of like that kind of thing, but where they're on this side, an eddy really dominated that overall, so that it actually eroded into the stone there. And then over here didn't really get eroded. Maybe because it like slipped over here and just turned into this one. Like eroded enough into this side that it just energetically the optimal thing was to do what it did. Whew. Gorgeous. The freaking way the shale is. Oh my. Whoa. That is pretty cool. I don't know. I don't have timestamps, and I guess I didn't see that. I don't know if that was recent. It's probably like the first Shaligram. I just never noticed. Oh my god, I'm freaking tired. Dude's like, bro, you put me to sleep, bro, just fucking record when you're awake. Yeah, well, that ain't ever. Wow, it's imprinting on the top, we can see, but then it like cut into the stone and actually made a chakra. And then it started to cut into the stone over here to make a mass. Like it was going to create an actual undercut to turn this into a mass segment. Ooh. Oh. Tooth-like things in the matrix there. Curious on the mass of the ammonite. Internal cross-section. Like channels, I guess. But abnormal ways. Oh, wait a minute. What the? It's like cutting underneath there. Or is that just a perfect angle? I don't know. Why it looks like there's a gap. Looks like there's a gap. Cool chakra. Whoa. Wow, man. Okay, well, close some tabs. I guess I'm out of here. Happy holidays, see y'all all around next time. Thanks for hanging out on this Christmas Eve. Alright, till next time. Peace out.